Hey folks, it's Beard Boy here, and I just got back from Pax West 2024, and there I got to try out a bunch of different games, as well as getting some good pickups from the convention in terms of games and random merch. The first thing I did though at PAX, I got to try out the game The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom at the Nintendo booth. It took about an hour in line to get to the Nintendo booth. It was a pretty long line on day one specifically. And when we finally, me and my friend, finally got to the front of the line and were able to play, the first thing they did was put us on The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So the demo they showed us basically has you do a little bit of a prison escape. It allows you to test out your abilities with the Echo staff. You first copy the an Echo of a table. Use that table to climb onto the bed, over the wall, and get out, which the jump button is going to have to take getting used to. I know it's in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and yeah, this is not that kind of Zelda game, but even so, I'm still not used to jumping in a Zelda game. It's very, very weird, and the placement, it just doesn't feel right. When I want to jump, I kind of feel like I want to press, like doing it in a Mario game. I don't know. Zelda doesn't really transition to that in my mind, so it was a little difficult to figure out. After that, you go, there's a bunch of guards around the area that you're at. So you have to go and try to hide from them. That's when in this part of the demo, they have you echo a crate, use that crate as well as moving those tables from earlier, and you get on top. You're trying to hide. You eventually get to echo like a pot, and you get to use that pot, throw it across the stage. It makes them want to go over there, see what's going on, so you go and just run past them. Puzzles, for the most part, they're now I wouldn't say easy, but they're very, like, they're understandable. I'm not the greatest gamer, so it took me a second to get through some of these, but once you get past them, you get to meet Impa, who basically gives you a cloak so you can hide better. From there, you continue your escape. You have to go down through some water. You get to go and echo like a rock. Use that so you can weigh down some crates that are in the water. There is swimming. I was not expecting swimming to be in a Zelda game, specifically this kind of 2D Zelda game. I was not expecting, like, Breath of the Wild, like, you swam, but it was only on the top. You actually get to swim beneath the water, and it adds to, like, it gives a little bit of depth on what you're doing and how those echoes will help you go through it. It's very interesting. It is very interesting. I also struggled because it takes me probably like 5 minutes more than a normal person to figure out these kind of puzzles and all that. But once you finish that off, you get to do some echo combat. Because I'm not the greatest when it comes to thinking puzzles out, I actually didn't get to try the combat. There's some other people on YouTube that you can go and see the combat portion. I know Botox Games, he was at PAX, he also got to play this demo. He understands combat a little bit more. I was not able to get to that combat because I'm a little slow in the head sometimes. But the game was actually really good. I'm really excited for it. A funny thing with me and my friend who was there, it sounded like it's the iconic Zelda sound. Like if you're just grabbed something from a chest or if you just completed a shrine. That sound basically played throughout, and I just watched as my friend lost his mind because it was a little bit funny. It looked like he was going crazy every time he heard the sound, and he probably has that in his nightmares now. He's gonna be hearing that for a while. But I'm actually really excited for The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I will be giving it a try at some point, and the demo's pretty fun. And playing that demo and through my Nintendo, if you scanned your QR code, the thing's a little upside down, but you were able to get a Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom PAX exclusive pin, which is pretty cool. It's just, supposed to be in this orientation. This is a pretty cool pin, a cool little prize. This was also kind of separate from the entire play area as well, so you could just walked up to this and just got it if you had your My Nintendo, which is cool. And I think I got 100 Nintendo points, the silver ones, for doing this, I think. The next game they had us play was Super Mario Party Jamboree, and I'm gonna be honest with you, So it was this kind of like a rush mode, like this 3 mini games and you're out kind of thing. So there was one where it was basically like this coin roulette where determine on if you were the last people on the button would determine on if the platform would turn. If it would turn your way or if it would turn to the opponent's way. And determine how many turns there was, determining on how many people was on it. You would either get coins to win or you would get a bomb to the face. That one I do remember. The jet ski one, for some reason, I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly how it goes down besides that jet ski. But the coin roulette, it kind of just felt like regular Mario Party. I felt like I've played the exact thing countless times over now. There was one more that I thought was like kind of stupid in concept, but was actually really fun. You basically, so it was this kind of you're racing to the end, but you have to make a platform to go over, and the only way to make that platform is basically to pick a platform that the opponents did not pick, or that was the lowest wanted. I basically went for obviously the dumbest ones, like only going one brick at a time, because everybody else would go for the 3 or the wacky ones that looked like they would take you a little bit more throughout it. So I would keep on doing these like dumb little ones, go 1, 2 at a time, maybe go through, because it's basically a 3x3 grid. You have 9 overall spots, and you would have to make sure it just connects so you can run past it. I almost won, but in my Mario Party fashion, I lost at the last minute every time. This happens to me anytime I play a Mario game. I'll be in such a lead, and I'll get cocky. People will figure out my strategy, and then I choke. It's a destined cycle at this point. 2 of them, like the coin one, just felt like it was every other Mario Party, like I've seen it before. The jet ski, I don't even remember. Like, I don't even want to try and look it up to remember exactly, because I'm like, if it's good, I should remember it, and I don't. And then you have, what I was actually thinking was pretty fun was that platform creating one, where the concept's so stupid that it actually works, because it's really fun on how people do it. And it shows people that get cocky in Mario Party like me. They're just desserts if they screw up. It is kind of fun. I don't know if I'm picking this game up like day one. I don't think that's happening, because it just feels like every other Mario Party. Like, I already have access to Superstars. I think it's better just to play that one, I'm gonna be honest. Then we got to try out a already released game, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, and this game was underwhelming. I was expecting NES remix, maybe just a little lower. I wasn't expecting on how cheap, when I say underwhelming, I'm talking about like the fact that I barely start up what was supposed to be the challenge and it's already over like within seconds. I guess it's like, oh, you're trying to go for the speed run. Like the first one, you're the first person to get to the first mushroom in Super Mario Brothers. But it's this feeling where it's like, I feel like there's this pizzazz that NES Remix and all that had, where even if that was a cheap game, it made it feel like a bigger deal. Where with the NES Edition, Nintendo World Championships, presentation, all that, I don't know, maybe it's because it's always commonly used, but the kind of grid 90s aesthetic, 80s aesthetic, where it's like the grid, neon lights, I don't like it as much as I used to with other games. I feel like it's just not as fun to look at, and it looks cheap because it feels like everybody's doing it. It's just, you can get by with a match in like 2 minutes. A full match with friends, 2 minutes. And to me, it almost feels like if you were to play that and do everything it has, it probably is not going to last you that long. And for people like me who play a lot of single player, I feel like it's extremely boring, especially since the only thing it really gives you is leaderboards to add to the experience. The physical version seemed pretty cool. You get like that cool golden cartridge thing. This game's cheap. I don't know if I'm going to be playing this or picking it up unless it's like super cheap in the future. And then the last game at the Nintendo booth we played was Star Wars Hunters, which is your certified Overwatch clone. I got to play as a Jedi wielding a lightsaber, and got to just wield that around. What I was told, basically, from what it looked like, it was like 4v4, so not a full 6v6 situation. And you have your typical classes: healer, tank. You know, your typical classes, just a little bit more simplified for like a 4v4 format. And I got to play as the Jedi, like I said. Jedi, apparently, you deal more damage, but you are the weakest, which, knowing me, meant 3 kills, 7 deaths, as usual for these kind of games. I die all the time. I feel like the level design could have been better. There was a lot of open pits that, at least on the Switch version, kind of felt like they blended together to the point where I was not realizing I was jumping off a ledge to my death. That could have prevented some stuff. I felt the game was fun but needed more polish. The animations were limited. I get it, it's the Switch version, and it's probably the Switch visuals as well, but at times I could not figure out where I was properly at because the levels didn't look the best. Now, this might be different with a PS4, 5, Xbox Series version, or PC for that matter, but it's very, at least the map we played, very red. And from what was there, it was kind of hard to see sometimes where I was at. But for the most part, I'm actually kind of excited to try it out, especially if it's free to play. If I was to pay for it, I don't know if I would pay for it, because I'm not much of a Star Wars guy. I like some Star Wars media, not much though. But it was, for the most part, fun. Some of the things, like the ledge, maybe I would get used to that by just knowing the map more, learning the map. But for the most part, it was fun, but it had flaws. And similar to last year, where they had Tekken playable, you're able to get a I Played Tekken 8 lanyard and stuff like that. This year, they did it for Dragon Ball. Never mind the PAX badge, but there is a I Played Dragon Ball Sparking Zero little, like, keychain, not metal, but like thing. I don't know what you exactly call this, but it's cool. And this is gonna be my new main lanyard. I'm replacing my Seahawks one, which literally does not want to stay together anymore. But this is like my main. This is gonna be my main one from now on. And then I got to play Astro Bot early. When this video launches, it will be after the launch of Astro Bot. I got to play through the first playable level. It feels like Astro's Playroom, which is a good thing. I really liked Astro's Playroom. I 100%ed it. I've played through it like good 4 or 5 times now. It looks amazing. It looks just as good, if not better, than Astro's Playroom. Gameplay-wise, it's basically the same stuff you're used to if you played Astro before. So you have the, if you double tap, basically double jump, you get a laser. That basically works as both a weapon or a double jump. You have your spin attack, your punch. It's your normal fare. The level that I got to play, it wasn't much. It was just the first level, and you had 3 minutes on like this KitchenAid timer. I felt was funny for a PlayStation demo, because it wasn't built in the software. It was just a kitchen gadget, but I was able to speed run through it. I didn't get to fully explore it, but it looked amazing. It was the flamingo one that you see in the trailer. I'm very excited. It looks good. It plays well. And you're probably going to have already an opinion on it by the time this video comes out anyway. And while at that booth, you were able to do this kind of carnival game-esque throw the ball at the enemies thing. And for that, I got this. It's hard to get it all on screen, I'm sorry, but this is a PlayStation tote bag. And the last game I played at PAX was the SAO game available, Sword Art Online Fracture Daydream. Basically a third-person shooter set in the Gale Gun game. You're playing, at least in the demo, you're playing as the girl from the spin-off Gun Gale anime. I am a fan of SAO. I've actually never completed that one. I felt it was a little boring. So if that's somehow a hot take, there it is. But it was fun. I am interested in trying it out. I got to try these special attacks. It just feels it kind of just feels like Warframe or like the first Descendant games like that in its third person like setup. It was not bad to play. It looked all right. But by looked alright, like early PS4 almost. You got to fight these like wolves. There was like this scorpion thing. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't paying attention to any of the story because you only had so long to play this. I don't have much to comment. It felt fun from what I was able to play, but it wasn't really that much. The shooting in I would say the default accuracy felt well. So if you're always somebody who has to like get good sensitivity on it, on like your controllers to move the sticks, I feel like this is a really good balance because sometimes games they do it too much or too little. And if you're like me, you don't like to mess in the menus that often. So that was all right. The special abilities felt cool. Maybe not that useful though. But for the most part, the game felt fun. I might give it a try if it's like cheap in the future. And for that, you got guess what? You got a ribbon. You got a ribbon. This might be the worst PAX freebie I've been given so far since I went to PAX. That's basically all in terms of the games I played at PAX. Most of them were from Nintendo. Basically, for staying in that over hour line, you played for, and then I played a couple of others. For the most part, they were all pretty good. I was not mad or uninterested, if that's a good word. Most of the games that were there were fun, and I'm excited to try out most of them, especially Astro Bot, which I will be playing by the time this video comes out. But this is not all that I did at PAX. I also got freebies. This year, I didn't get as much as I usually do. This year, but there's a couple of cool freebies here. Usually there's a basic lanyard they give you when you enter PAX. This year's was the Final Fantasy lanyard. I haven't really played a Final Fantasy, so there's this thing at PAX called Dr. Exoskeleton. It's an ARG game. These guys go every year. You basically complete riddles and quests to get free stuff. And this year, me and my friends got the Dr. Exoskeleton lanyard. I grew up with a game called Wizard 101. And one of the last year they had I think it was a freebie. Last year they didn't really have a true freebie. But this year, if you wishlisted the game, I don't know if it's DLC or if it's with a Wizard 101 spin-off game, they gave you a Wizard 101 wand, which, visual warning, so if you have any lighting issues when it comes to video, yeah, I'm turning it off quick. So yeah, it's basically a rave light, which is weird, but fun. Yeah, this was free for pre-ordering the game. Or I think there was a thing where you had to, it's like pre-order the game or buy something or play a demo, I think. But that's not all. From Wizard 101, I actually did buy something from them. Last year, I bought a limited edition Gamma plushie, which at PAX is like $30. In real life, it's really expensive. This year, I got another one. So I got the Grandmother Raven plushie from the game, which I thought this guy was a neat looking guy. Wanted to add him to the collection of plushies that I'm getting from that game. It looks like this might be an every year thing. Now we get into the final part of the video, the video game pickups. At PAX, I got 3 games. I first went to a booth called Dial Up Games, and I saw 2 Switch games that I don't usually see out in the wild often anymore. So I wanted to pick them up while they were there. I got Splatoon 2, which this doesn't have an ESRB, because I'm pretty sure this is like the starter guide version of Splatoon 2. But I'm happy to have this. We'll be playing the DLC at some point. plus having just an easy way to play Splatoon online. I do have the Wii U modded, so I can do that online, but it's not guaranteed you're ever going to have players. This is a better guarantee if I want to play Splatoon online. I will try to still play Splatoon 1 online because it's still fun, but this will be my primary way of playing that until I get like Splatoon 3. This game is one of my favorite platformers of all time, Super Mario Odyssey, a classic. I've already played through a lot of this on the Switch, but now I have it physically. It's an absolutely amazing game. If you've not played it, I would say it hits up there with Super Mario 64 in terms of like the kind of tools at your disposal, the tools at your disposal aspects of how to control Mario and to get things. The platforming's amazing. You almost feel like a parkour artist. There's literally a level where it's like a city and Mario's basically parkouring. And there's so many moons that you're going to be busy with this game for a long time. Very worth it. And the last game I got at PAX, so there's a booth called Limited Run Games. You should know them if you're into Nintendo-related stuff. I've been playing through a little bit of Persona 5 Royal on my PS5, and that game's been pretty good. But I also know that there's a physical of Persona 4 Golden. This guy online goes for a lot of money. $80 brand new, about 70 used. There, I got this brand new for $35. So yeah, I picked this up while I could. I'm excited to give this a shot, especially since Persona 5 has been really good. That was it for PAX pickups, but I did go to the Westfield Mall, and I got to try out their GameStop out in Tacoma, and I did pick up 3 games as well. So first I got, since I am an SAO fan, and this was basically $3, I got Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. It looks like a decent JRPG. I'll give it a try, especially since I'm an SAO fan. This will probably go well. Then a good JRPG, certified good on Metacritic, Scarlet Nexus. This game I've heard about, but I've never really bought it. I saw it physically for $5. So yeah, I picked this up since I know it's a good game. I like JRPGs. I'm willing to give this a shot. And then the last game, I am a hack and slash fan. Loved Hi-Fi Rush. Really excited to play games like Bayonetta, stuff like that. I picked up Darksiders 3. So I had 1 and 2 on the PS3, as well as 2 on the Wii U. I did want to pick up the 3rd one. I saw this for $10. I basically couldn't pass up on that to complete the collection of it. I hear this is a mixed one, but I still give it a shot. But that is everything. That is everything I got and got to play at PAX. It was a super good year, I think. It got really busy at times, but for the most part, I'd say a pretty good experience. And I got some pretty good games. I've never walked away with this many games at once. So, get games excited. Goodbye.